All right, let's just jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about something that's seriously changing how businesses build tech, the dedicated software development team. We're going to demystify it, break down what it is, how it actually works, and why it might just be the secret sauce you've been looking for. So, does this sound familiar? You've got this amazing idea for an app, right? A real game changer. But then, the development just gets stuck, bogged down in endless delays, shifting deadlines. It is one of the most classic and honestly, most frustrating problems in the tech world. And that right there, that's the core dilemma we're talking about. Businesses, you have to innovate. You have to build custom software to even stay in the game. But trying to manage all the moving parts of development, man, it can just suck the life, the time, and the money right out of a project, putting the whole thing on the brink of failure. So what's the fix? Well, this is where the dedicated team model comes into play. It's an approach that was pretty much designed to tackle that exact dilemma head-on. It offers a much smarter way to get your custom tech built. Okay, so here's the gist of it. This isn't just about hiring a few temporary helpers. No way. It's about bringing on a full external crew of experts. We're talking developers, designers, the whole shebang, and they are 100% completely committed just to your project. Think of them as a seamless extension of your own company, just, working from somewhere else. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't this just a fancy way of saying you're hiring freelancers? And that's a fair question. But nope, not quite. The real difference, the secret ingredient, is focus. See, a freelancer, they're often juggling, 5, 10 different clients? But a dedicated team, they are exclusively yours. That means they get a super deep understanding of your vision and are fully committed to it. Okay, so how does this model actually solve those nightmares we were just talking about? Well, the benefits are pretty much direct answers to the biggest headaches in software development. Let's dig into them. First up, it absolutely slays the monster of missed deadlines. Think about it. Because the team is only focused on your stuff, the whole development process gets streamlined. There's no time wasted switching gears between different clients, and the result? You get a much faster, way more predictable path from that initial idea to launch day. Next, let's talk about quality. When you have specialists who are giving your project their full, undivided attention day in and day out, what do you think happens? You get a much more solid, reliable product. They're just more invested, they catch bugs faster, and they're focused on building a really smooth, professional piece of software. And the big one, what about the budget, that black hole that seems to swallow money? This might sound a little backward at first, but this model is actually incredibly cost-efficient. How? Well, by avoiding all that costly rework and minimizing dumb mistakes from the get-go, your budget is optimized. You're not paying for a team to get up to speed over and over again. They live and breathe your project from day one. And believe it or not, the perks don't stop there. You also get features that are built exactly for your specific needs, not some generic template. You get seamless, direct collaboration with your team, and you get this amazing long-term flexibility to scale the team up or down as your project grows and changes. It's a really adaptable way to work. Okay, so we get the why, but what about the how? How does this all actually work in the real world? Let's walk through the typical process, which usually breaks down into 3 main phases. It all, and I mean all of it, starts with a solid foundation. That's phase 1. This is the discovery and setup part. It's where we kick things off with an initial consultation to really get inside your head and understand your vision. Then we dig deep to uncover every single requirement, and finally, we handpick the absolute perfect team for your project. All right, foundation set. Now for the fun part, the actual building. Phase 2 is where the magic really happens. This is the agile delivery phase. The team uses what's called an agile approach. They design prototypes, they break down all the work into these manageable chunks called sprints, and they build the software in these little cycles, getting your feedback every single step of the way. It's super collaborative. And finally, phase 3, deployment and support. This is all about getting your product out into the world and making sure it stays great. So the team does these intense quality checks and bug fixes, they oversee a super smooth deployment, and then, and this is key, they stick around to continuously monitor how the software is doing after launch to keep making it better. So this all sounds pretty good in theory, right? But where is this model actually being used? The cool thing is it's being applied in some of the most complex, high-stakes industries out there. Let's look at a few real-world examples. Let's start with healthcare. Think about it. It's an industry that has massive demands for security, accuracy, and just pure reliability. This is exactly where dedicated teams shine. They're the ones building the critical tools for things like remote health tracking or managing super sensitive, secure patient information. These are systems where you have absolutely zero room for error.
Okay, from healthcare, let's jump over to another high-stakes world, finance.
Here, these teams are absolutely essential for creating the secure digital banking platforms we all use. They're the ones building the complex engines that process transactions safely and that run the automated fraud detection systems that protect all of us.
And for our last example, let's look at the absolute backbone of modern commerce, logistics.
In the logistics world, efficiency is king. So dedicated teams are creating these incredible custom platforms that figure out the best delivery routes, that track entire fleets in real time, and that manage massive warehouse inventories. These are the tools that prevent those annoying delays and just make the whole supply chain work. So when you really look at it, when you put it all together, it kind of boils down to this, right? The dedicated team model is this incredibly powerful vehicle for taking a really bold, maybe even a complex idea, and turning it into a real, tangible solution that can actually work on a global scale. So I want you to think about it for a second. Whether you're trying to finally get past those development delays, or you need to guarantee top-notch quality, or you have a super specialized tool you need to build for your industry, this model offers a really compelling solution. Which, of course, leaves us with one last question to chew on. What's that bold idea you're holding back on, and what problem could a truly focused, dedicated team help you solve?